Got the machine in the shop today, and what I plan to do is I'm going to fix most of the 5 things I hate about my mini excavator. If you saw my last video, you know that I hate how slow my mini excavator is. So I found a solution. The solution is weight reduction. I'm too big, I weigh too much. So what I'm gonna do is have Gabe, he's gonna jump in the operator seat. And last time, remember with me in it, driving down and back, it took about 6 minutes. So when I walked it there and back, it was 1:45 seconds. With Gabe in this operator seat today, we're gonna beat that time. So, you ready, Gabe? Ready, set, go. One minute, just over a minute. It was all about weight reduction. So I'm gonna get rid of the 5 things I hate about my micro excavator. I'm not gonna be able to get rid of the slow, but I knew it was slow when I bought it. All of us, when we buy these, we know they're slow. I'm not gonna get rid of the tippy, but tippy's okay because I want small. I mean, this thing fits in the garage. And I can drive in between the trees. That's exactly what I wanted it for, to be able to do stuff around the property without trashing the whole place and making driveways everywhere I bring a big machine. And it's cheap too, so it's something that a homeowner can afford. So yeah, I know those 2 things, they're not gonna get fixed, but that's okay. The rest of the stuff, I'm gonna make it look a little bit better. So yeah, it's a pretty solid machine, minor little tweaks that don't really matter big picture. They don't mess with the operation or the function of the machine. I don't know, I'm just picky. It's my toy. This is my man cave toy box. And I want my toys to be pretty, so. These screws here on the seat that rattle around, I'm gonna use a step drill bit. I'm gonna drill these things out. I'm gonna put some bolts in there. I'm gonna drill these screws out with my unibit. I think this is a lot of the rattling seat. I lost the bolt. So these tracks are supposed to be bolted on here. But yeah, it's clearly missing a bolt. So I just need to replace that bolt and we should be good to go. We'll pull the other one out, figure out what size it is, and we'll go from there. Oh, there's a catch. 13 might be too big for a socket to fit in there. These bolts might not work. Little 1/4-inch thin wall. That's tight. That's super tight. So I've got my missing bolts put in the seat. I replaced all the bolts underneath to make sure it's nice and tight with lock nuts, lock washers. I've got the bolts in here. I drilled out the old screws. And now, the only punking it does is that. I'm going to put some sound deadening heat insulation underneath this, which will stop that hitting. But remember how this was so loud before? That was it. That's all it needed. A couple bolts, no big deal, and we're ready to roll. I'm going to put some insulation on the bottom of this seat. I think it'll help with the heat, and it'll give me a little bit of padding here when it comes down so it won't clang around so much. You know, this metal on metal, I'd like to stop that. So I'm going to pull a tape. We're looking at about 17.5. Don't think I want to go all the way to the front, probably go about right here. 17.5, 17.5. Okay. Always use the alcohol prep. Get it ready to adhere. Clean off all the stuff that'll mess it up from sticking. So, wow, the sticky from the factory insulation just came right up with this. Let's hit it one more time. Use a clean side of the rag. I probably should take these bolts out, but I can just cut around them. Doesn't have to be perfect. I had a little camera mess up. Didn't get that videoed, but what I did, I cut it, I pulled the backing, I put it up on here, and then I rolled it all the way around. So I might need to come back with a heat gun, heat it up, but I don't know, it seems to be sticking really well. This stuff does not want to come off. So I think we're in good shape, but now, instead of laying on this metal and this back metal piece, it's laying on that insulation. So on that sound deadening heat shield. So we'll see how this holds up. This stuff's made for side-by-sides, but I don't see why it wouldn't work on this. In one of the comments about the choke coming out too far, somebody said, one of you had told me to adjust it back here on the motor. And so I took the whole back of the machine off earlier today. And I adjusted it. And it doesn't pull out anymore. So, yeah, thank you for that. That's helpful. So I fixed another thing I hate about my mini excavator. The grip tape. I've got some nice 3M grip tape. I'm going to try that out. I also bought a roll of Amazon Life Grip anti-slip tape. And I'm going to see how they both hold up. Is the 3M really that much better? Is this the cheap Chinese stuff that was on here to begin with? So we'll find out. So my plan here, I'm going to use this 3M grip tape on this side, and then I'm going to use this Amazon's Best on the other side and see which one lasts longer. Does it really matter what brand you get? I think it does, but let's take a look and let's see. I think that should work a little bit better, but we'll see over time. Will this 3M grip tape last, or the highly rated Amazon made in China grip tape? It's a Chinese machine with Chinese grip tape, so maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they like each other. Maybe they bond and they form a close relationship. I called Ron at K&R Equipment. He sells Kimron, and I said, hey, I need some touch-up from my machine, and he sent me a touch-up bottle, and this is the exact match. So I'm going to use a little wire brush, hit some of these rust spots, touch them up, keep my machine looking pretty. This is my toy box, and in the toy box, I just like my toys to look cool. These rusty screws around the gauges. I'm actually going to pull all that apart. I'm going to paint it and then put those screws in. That'll look good. And yeah, so I got these zinc coated screws. These are actually for a trailer. They work really well with a Robinson bit. And I figured while I have it off, I sanded down that little panel and I painted it gray. It actually matches the machine. So I think this is a big step in the right direction for making it look a little bit nicer. I think that's a lot cleaner look. I've run into my first mechanical problem with the machine. It's not a huge deal, but it's the first thing that's gone on with this machine since I bought it that's not just cosmetics. So the way you start it is you turn the power on and then you start it. But when you turn the power on, the fan's supposed to kick on. See this switch? See that? So this switch, like, something's wrong with it. So we're going to replace that. I've got a new one I bought off of Amazon. That looks a little bit better than this one. This is kind of a cheesy little thing. I'm going to replace this with a new one, and then I shouldn't have any more mechanical problems for now. So when you turn this on, the voltmeter comes to life. But see that? There. But when you're driving around and you hit a bump, it might just turn off. So something's wrong with this. This is off. This is on. It's not supposed to work like that. So the new one I bought is like $28 on Amazon. It's a little bit bigger than the other one. Looks a little bit nicer. It's not bright red. But this one comes with this nifty little thing. If you're worried about someone stealing your machine, you put this on. Well, I guess it goes together like this. So when it's off, you can put a padlock through it and then flip it on. I don't know if I'm going to put that on. I might. I don't know. It could come in handy sometimes. Just stick a lock through it. And then it's got your on-off little thing and your little nuts. So this one looks quite a bit deeper than the other one, but it should work just the same. So to change that out, we have to disconnect the battery. That's under this tray, which I actually already have the bolts out because I just did the grip tape. So you pull this piece off. And your battery's right here. The correct way to do this is disconnect the negative battery terminal first, which is kind of hidden, and then the positive, there's a battery hold down here, which bolts in from the underside. So we're going to unbolt that battery hold down and then take the battery back so I can get the negative cable off. We're going to pull out this switch. It's got a 10mm on the top and a little nut on the bottom. So now that the positive power is disconnected, we can take it out without welding our wrench to the machine. So let's take these off. So this is the old one that doesn't work anymore, and this is a new one. This might be overkill. This might be a little more extreme than I thought it was. Let's see if the wires even fit on these nuts. So I've got the new battery switch on. The old one had a really strange shape on the bottom, so there's a big cutout here. And so I got the one with this big bracket. Now the point of this bracket is you can take a little padlock and you can stick it through and you can lock that so that nobody can turn it on. Or you can just take the key out, either way. But this works great. Everything comes on, no issues. So now we're back in business. Think about all my cosmetic complaints I had. From the seat, from the bolts, from these gauges, that switch not working anymore, the grip tape, all the paint. Man, it didn't take me very long at all to take care of almost every one of my little complaints. And it looks really good. And everything works the way it should. It looks really nice. So I don't have a whole lot of things I hate about my Mini Excavator anymore. And all it took was just a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of time. Oh, and if you're wondering, this little corner of grip tape is amazing, because that's where I climb up a lot. And that place, I've always thought it needed them. My shoes are muddy, my boots are muddy, or any sort of water. I step on that and I slip. So it's so easy just to put your foot up there and climb up. So, and then with the grip tape on this, I think that's kind of useful too. I don't know if I'm going to leave it there long term, but it works pretty well for now. But yeah, not bad. So now you can see that the 5 things I hate most about my micro mini excavator really aren't that bad. And I've taken care of almost all of them. When I bought the machine, I knew it was slow. When I bought the machine, I knew it was tippy. It's just a little baby machine. So all the cosmetic things are fixed. And it didn't take very long. And I had an awesome time doing it. My son, he's 14. He was here today. And we spent the day, not the whole day, but a good piece of the day out here in the shop messing around with the machine. And so it gave me an excuse to spend some father-son time. We're playing with the machine. We rode the little mini bikes around. Yeah, it was just overall a really awesome day. So hopefully I've answered a bunch of your questions. Some of your comments helped me fix some of the problems I had with this. Thanks to Ron over at K&R Equipment for giving me that touch-up paint that I was able to get my machine looking good with. And we're going to see long-term what this grip tape looks like. So thank you very much for sticking around. Thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe as usual. I really appreciate all of you and your support on my channel. I'm really having a lot of fun with this. And besides that, enjoy your time in the trees or in the shop or playing with your toys or whatever you happen to be doing.